welcome to HISD News. I'm Sarah Osborne. The Texas Education Agency is proceeding with an order to close the North Forest Independent School District and annex the area into HISD. The decision is based on continued poor academic performance within the district. The North Forest School Board can still appeal the order, which would take effect July 1st. The district has roughly 6,000 students. February 4th through the 8th was HISD's second annual Anti-Bullying Awareness Week, and schools across the district put their creativity to the test as they encourage students to take a stand against bullying. Denise Cantu explains.
It's really awesome!
At Kettleson Elementary, it was all about pink. Pink limo and pink outfits. That's one way HISD schools got creative in promoting zero tolerance for bullying on campus, said HISD's Manager of Counseling Services, Corey Kraft.
We also talk about the importance of celebrating different cultures, celebrating differences, and trying to take out the hateful words.
Over at Harrod Elementary, students and staff had a blast from the past as they dressed up in outfits representing different decades.
And they could dress as their favorite decade in order to celebrate culture, diversity, and so forth.
We've been trying to say to people that it doesn't matter how you are, we're all just the same.
At Burbank Middle School, counselors focused on the effects of bullying and educated students on how to take a stand for themselves and others.
And the purpose of the activities is to teach students what to do when they are bullied.
The activities are based on understanding what are some of the difficulties regarding bullying. We talk about the victim, how they feel powerless.
So the students made 2 murals. One represented what they feel when they're victims of bullying.
In the morning, you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I have to see this person again. I'm gonna go through this again. And it's like the same thing over and over every morning. The words don't seem like they're hurtful, but once you say them, you can't take them back. So it's like, it hurts the person inside of them.
The other represented what it feels like to take a stand against bullying, regain self-confidence, and have the power to do something.
At the end of the activity of focusing on what is powerful, what is powerless, we're going to talk about how you can transition from being powerless to being powerful.
If you feel your child is a victim of bullying or would like more information on the effects of bullying, you can call HISD's Counseling Services at 713-556-7240. Believe it or not, February 5th was the 100th day of school, and several HISD elementary campuses held celebrations to honor the milestone. Over at Atherton Elementary, the festivities included everything from custom cheers and step dancing to a musical performance by the school band. Special guests included City Controller Ronald Green and HISD Board Trustee Rhonda Skillern-Jones. In addition to the performances, students designed special hats and T-shirts, all containing 100 items, such as this one with 100 safety pins. Now that's creative. HISD is committed to designing and building green schools. Recently, the district and the city's efforts were recognized in a national way. The U.S. Green Building Council joined Superintendent Terry Greer and Houston Mayor Anise Parker at Cunningham Elementary on February 5th. 3 gathered to announce the news that Texas is among the top 10 states for leadership in energy and environmental design, or LEED certification. The ranking, in part, is due to combined efforts between the city of Houston and the nearly 24 green schools HISD has built over the last several years. Cunningham Elementary is one of those schools, and it recently received the highest LEED ranking of Gold certification.
It's exciting to build these kinds of structures, but it's also equally important that we use these facilities to help educate our children about the importance of energy conservation, of being good to the environment.
An amazing thing happens when you begin to build like this. You discover that this can be good for the bottom line too. This is not just about doing the right thing. It's doing the right thing, but it makes financial sense.
HISD currently has 10 schools with LEED certification and 20 in the process of receiving certification. Work to build new schools under the 2012 bond program is already underway, and HISD is currently interviewing architecture firms. Superintendent Terry Greer outlined the next steps in the bond program at a February 7th luncheon for the Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development. Greer told several dozen business and community representatives that HISD is doing its due diligence to pick the best firms to design Houston's new high schools.
We have formed an advisory committee made up of the deans of the schools of architectural education from Prairie View A&M, University of Houston, and Rice University. And those deans are meeting with our staff to help us review the presentations and qualifications of the architectural firms.
In addition to the bond program, Greer also gave attendees an update on HISD academics, the upcoming budget, and efforts to increase literacy throughout the district. Close to 100 student athletes have signed letters of intent for colleges and universities throughout the United States. HISD seniors and their proud parents gathered at the Delmar-Tusa Sports Complex on February 6th for National Signing Day. The male and female student athletes are receiving scholarships in a variety of sports, ranging from football and basketball to tennis and golf.
A lot of these student athletes have Division I scholarships. They have full rides to universities. Interestingly enough, the group this year is signing a lot in Texas.
I'm going to a school for a sport that I love, and I'm getting my education paid for pretty much.
It's the same thing as like when you get a sack or a tackle, like that feeling that like you just like you want another one, you want something bigger than that. You want to go over and over again.
National Signing Day is the first day that students can legally sign a letter of intent to play sports for particular colleges or universities. Time now for the HISD Fast Fact of the Week. More than 90% of the district's top teachers stay committed to HISD year after year. That's it for this edition of HISD News. Be sure to stay connected with the district by following us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. We leave you now with a recent fine arts performance from Longfellow Elementary. I'm Sarah Osborne, and I'll see you next week.